Public Service Board has to make. Months ago, actually more than a year ago, the Select Board, shortly after the Conservation Commission was established, the Select Board asked us to, when this project sort of emerged on the horizon, so to speak, the Select Board asked us to pay attention to it and to report to them what was going on. A few months ago, the Conservation Commission, after tracking the project through the point where its application was delivered, made a recommendation to the Select Board that the town seek party status. Now that is an official legal status. That means, it's like, imagine you're on a soccer team and the coach gives you a jersey. That's party status. Whether you choose to put on that jersey and get on the field and chase that ball around, that's your decision. That's a decision that the town actually makes, has to make. The Select Board has to make. And that decision really means that you either do something, you run around and try to kick the ball in the goal, or you sit on the bench and don't do anything. Party status actually provides that opportunity. You don't have to get out in the middle of the field and run over people or get run over by people. But if you're going to be effective, you're going to help your team score a goal or play the game properly, aggressively, you need, when you put on that jersey, you need to be doing some running up and down the field, trying to kick that around. Otherwise, you may as well be sitting on the bench. Or you may be as well staying at home and watching TV. So the decision on party status is an important step, important legal step. It, frankly, does not commit the town to spending money or hiring consultants of its own or attorneys or whatever. But it is an important first step. The Select Board. There are more chairs back here, folks, who can, we can take a few minutes and get them to you. You can come down and be real close. Especially Jay, especially a member of the Conservation. So, the Select Board asked us to put together an information session in order to better inform their work on what they ought to be doing. I don't want to speak for the Select Board. The Select Board is here tonight. They can speak for themselves. But that's the purpose that's why we're here tonight, is to provide you with information so you can react to that information and instruct your elected officials as to what you think is going to happen. The Conservation Commission does not have an opinion on the either rightness or wrongness of this proposal. We are a civic group doing our civic duty for the town of Craftsbury. We may have our own individual opinions. They are of no interest to the collective body called the Conservation Commission. Our work is to get information to you so that you can better inform your decision. We're not going to get into questions and opinions and that kind of stuff until after the rest of the presentation. But that's the sort of legal part of the process. I know you're just drooling.
Don't sit down, Steve.
Oh, go ahead. Oh, yeah. The blue, this is where the project is located. Now, a number of you who've grown up and walked all this countryside you know a whole lot more about this than I do. But the area inside the blue, whatever that is, looks like a bad hot dog. But inside the blue ellipse there, whatever it is that happens to be, is where the project is located. That's the Lowell Mountain Bridge. To your right, you see the town of Albany, and that's Route 14, that red line. If you go into Albany Village and turn left left on New Street where the Shales live, and just keep going up, you'll cross over Bailey Haven Road, which is right on the north end, right up in there. And the project goes 3.2 miles to the southwest. So that's your location. Any particular questions on the location? I know it took me a while to look at the map, even though I walked that bridge.
Can you show where the Bailey Haven Road is? Is it at the very north end?
Right up at the north end of the project. It crosses over right in there. Okay.
Great.
Mike Dunham, Walsh.
Yes, you're back.
Thank you.
So Eleanor and I will present some information, general information about the project. This is information that we've gathered from a variety of sources, and one being the actual application, the petition that was filed by Green Mountain Power, as well as some the other groups, Vermont Electric Cooperative, Vermont Electric Power Company, and Transco as well. And that application, which is 1,300 pages long, we've been picking through bits and parts of it, and we will bring some information about the dimensions of the project from there. Eleanor and I also had a chance to go to a workshop that was put on by Green Mountain Power back to about a week and a half ago. And so we were able to ask the company some more detailed questions, and so we'll try to present that for you tonight as well. So the basics here. We're talking about this project, we're looking at either 20 to 21 turbine is the layout. Bailey Hazen Road, as Steve mentioned, are 3.2 miles south. The height of those turbines are going to be anywhere from 410 feet to 443 feet. This depends upon what type of turbine they decide to use based on the information they get from the test towers that are currently up on the ridgeline. The rotors will, the actual blades will be between 295 feet and 328 feet in diameter. There will be lighting on these turbines because of the rules and regulations with the Federal Aviation Administration, and there will be nighttime flashing lights on some of those windmills. I think now you can see two test towers or two Met towers up on the ridge with the red lights blinking. So if you want to get a sense as to what this project might look like in terms of lighting, it's best to drive off the common towards Strong's or past Strong's Farm or many other points in town where you can see those test towers. So Walt, back a couple months ago, said to me, he said, what these turbines are going to look like in terms of scales, if you take a 747 and turn it onto its tail, standing up, that's what we'll see in terms of height. Walt and Steve also ran some numbers and figured out that you can fit, or you cannot fit the turbine itself into the common. So that gives us a perspective. If you were to lay it down on its side, it would not fit within the common itself. Okay, so just for point of reference for folks. There will be roads that will be created. There's an access road that will be coming out off of Route 100 through Lowell, and it will be 2.5 miles. It's a connector up to the ridgeline, which will again be a 3.2 mile long road. And those roads will be anywhere from 30 to 80 feet wide, depending upon where how the topography is, and also I believe on the ridgeline they will be on the larger end in order to have access to and maintenance for those wind towers themselves. There are a big component about this project are some transmission lines, and transmission lines will be buried underground up on the ridge, and there will be some overhead or above ground transmission lines as well. These will connect into an extension of transmission line down to the substation in Lowell, and then the transmission line from Lowell to J will be widened, and there's a lot of modifications that have to go on to that transmission line. So that will all be occurring on the west side of this project. In terms of the cutting or the maintenance of these transmission lines, we were told at the workshop that there will be for vegetative management, those